mojito with no sugar.
No, 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 no! No, please! Subscribe! Today we are working on Irish Seamoss. If you guys don't know about this, you better ask somebody because this stuff right here is liquid gold. It's made out of 92 of the 102 minerals that our bodies are made of, so it's got to be good for you. It's packed with protein, keratin, vitamin B, sulfur, magnesium, zinc, all kinds of things that our body needs every day. So today I'm going to show you how I prep it. Now if you're lucky, you're starting with a sea moss that's naturally grown. I get mine from Akeem Pierre. He's a really good seller and I'll link his YouTube in the description box. When prepping your sea moss, keep in mind that less is more. I always start with a handful, but somehow I get too much. Keep in mind that this only lasts about 2 weeks refrigerated, so you don't want to over prep your sea moss. Did I mention this stuff is natural? Yup, it comes from the earth. You need to scrub a dub, and don't worry, it's tough, so don't worry about being gentle. You need to make sure you go through and inspect your sea moss thoroughly, because there's other pieces of sea that shouldn't be in here. Whoop, looks like I spotted one already. Now I'm gonna go in on this and try to pick it out as best as I can. But don't fret. If you can't get a piece out, don't throw it in the trash, just let it soak. You'll see why later. Now this may seem like a tedious process to some, but honestly, it's so worth it. You get so many uses out of this stuff. I use it on my skin, my hair. I use it on my pet skin. I water my plants with it. This stuff is nature's gold. Other than apple cider vinegar, of course, but we'll talk about that another time. That's the best I could do with this piece. Now inspection is over, it's time to drain the seaweed and get to scrubbing. This stuff usually comes covered in sand, so I go ahead and scrub the sea moss until it runs smooth. It's funny how this stuff is called sea moss because it's not even moss, it's seaweed, but whatever. Once you start to get it really clean, you'll see it soften up and turn to a clearish color. That means you're doing something right. Give it a little shimmy. So now we're gonna let the sea moss soak overnight. And you want to use as clean as water as possible. I'm using spring water. You want to do this to retain the purity of the sea moss as much as possible. Now with the handful the size that I use, about 2 bottles of water should be fine. And now for the secret ingredient that most recipes tend to leave out, a lemon. Lemons are important in sea moss because you need vitamin C to absorb the iron and the other nutrients that the sea moss contains. If you don't use vitamin C, you're just wasting your time. So I'm going to use 1 lemon, cut it in half. Ooh, it's so pretty. I love lemons. Give it a good squeeze. Massage the citrus into the seaweed a little bit. And set it and forget it, child. Next day, we're going to go ahead and toss these lemons. They did their job. And we're going to go ahead and give the seaweed one last inspection. Now that it's softened up, a lot of the extra particles will slide right off of it. Remember that stubborn piece I was working with? Ain't so stubborn no more. So now we just need a large plastic bowl, a trusty dusty strainer, and we're going to go ahead and strain that liquid out. But don't throw it away. Oh no, we saved that. I save every part of this plant, even the water I wash it with, because you could literally drink it and it'll boost your metabolism. That means you can lose weight, more energy, better sleep, the whole nine. So now you're going to need 2 containers for storage. I prefer to use these large mason jars with a good sealed top. These are 32-ounce jars. This should last me about 2 weeks. I seriously can't believe I did this in one take. I thought for sure I was going to make a mess. But I have just enough liquid to fill this jar. That's a good sign because usually I have more left over. So now you're going to get out your trusty dusty blender. I have some friends that prep their Seamoss but complain that their blender doesn't chop it up fine enough. Not saying that they're lying, but it requires a little bit of patience. First you want to take that fresh water and fill it up a little bit over halfway. Go ahead and chop it up. Then switch to puree. And then liquefy. Once that mix levels out, you know you've liquefied it about as much as you can do for now. As you can see, it's still a little bit grainy, but no worries. We're just going to add a little bit more water and keep blending. It's important to blend your Seamoss down as fine as possible because it gives you more options and things to do with it. For example, if you want to make a face mask out of the Seamoss, it gets a little messy if your Seamoss is chunky. There it is. Now it's nice and soft. The less chunks, the easier it is to swallow. I try to take 2 spoonfuls a day, and with this texture, it kind of tastes like a lemon-flavored applesauce. Now it's much smoother. This is about as smooth as my blender can get it. Wow, I actually didn't over prep this time. That's crazy. The mixture is still kind of runny, but if you let it sit for 30 minutes, it'll go ahead and start to gel up. To the refrigerator you go! Now that my Seamoss is ready, I am ready to take over the world! I really wanted to take the time to make this video because I use it on a daily basis and I know it's going to pop up on my channel again. Not too bad. And if you can turn it over like this, you know you gelled it perfectly. Just ingesting this stuff daily will keep your skin fresh and your energy alive. I guess every chef should taste their food. Just swallow it fast, and don't say I didn't warn you. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you guys and inspires you to put your foot in the healthy direction. Remember, health is wealth. Bye-bye for now.
Wow!